Today's movie is 1971's Let's Scare Jessica to Death. Now, with a title like that, you might think that somebody named Jessica is going to get scared to death. Well, you're wrong. Or you might think that it's scary. Well, you're wrong. Now, I originally heard about this movie by reading about it on the website io9.com. And I usually like that website, and it usually has pretty decent news and things. And they said it was sort of an overlooked gem. Well, they are wrong. This movie is bad. So let me tell you what it's about, first of all. Let's Scare Jessica to Death is about a woman named Jessica. Her and a few friends are moving to a small town. Now, apparently, when the movie starts, Jessica has just been let out of a mental institution. They don't really explain how it happened that she got there. And her friends have bought a big house upstate. Upstate where, I don't know. But they get there, and the locals are like, oh, you hippies.
Look what they're driving. Damn hippies. Creeps. Some welcoming committee.
I think maybe it's our mode of transportation.
Good riddance.
And they've, Jessica, of course, starts seeing things. And here is one of the big problems with the movie. She sees things. Sometimes someone else sees it too. But then when she sees other things, they're just like, whatever, there was nothing there. They don't even bother to check. It's like you just saw something weird, unusual earlier. Why not at least check it out? She claims, for example, somebody saw a body and somebody that they had talked to earlier is dead. Maybe go back into town and see if that guy's actually dead or not. And say, look, he is not dead. Nope, they just like, okay, yeah, sure. And another thing, some of the reviews, IO9 has some quotes, the Wikipedia page has some quotes from people like, oh, this is the scariest movie ever. Either these people have never seen any other movies, or they're lying. It's not scary at all. It's just boring. So, some stuff happens, it's kind of weird, and there's kind of an unreliable narrator. You're like, is Jessica actually seeing things or not? And I will say there's a few good things going for it. The soundtrack is kind of cool. It's very early synthesizer. That's kind of neat. The actress who plays Jessica, she does a nice job of this voiceover, and it's not super melodramatic, which is kind of interesting. I think that if this movie were made today, everything would be heightened. But it's just kind of like, I saw something. I think I saw something.
Dreams or nightmares. Madness or sanity. I don't know which is which.
But, it's not great. The one thing I did learn is that apparently in the early 70s, they used pesticide all the time, because there are a couple scenes this house they moved to as part of an apple farm they mentioned. And at least 3 times, one of the men takes out this big huge tank of pesticides and just sprays the trees. And does it like 3 days in a row. Like, wow, they used a lot of pesticides back then. No wonder we're not all dead. Also interesting, there's an actress by the name of Gretchen Corbett. She has a small part in it. This is one of the first things she did.
Who are you? Why did you run?
You see? Tell him you led me to the body. Tell him.
She did a ton of mostly TV, but some movies throughout the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Her last credit was just 2019, I think. So it's kind of interesting to see her in there. But overall, this movie's bad. It's just boring. And I don't understand why people would say it was good. In fact, I think they're wrong. So, 4 thumbs down. This is a bad film. Jessica doesn't get scared, and she's not scary.